because we'll touch upon this one next. Did you ever get into esports yourself,
Would I ever get into it?
or did you ever, or will you get into it?
It's kind of hit or miss. It all depends. For example, I've played in the last month, I believe, 7 competitive matches on Madden, and of the 7, I've had 2 good experiences. Now
Let's
that's not because I
go.
lost; it's because of toxic gamers. Um,
Yeah.
when I'm playing someone competitively, I understand the trash talk. I get it, the banter. However, when they're dropping profanities and they're dropping N words and they're dropping all these just toxic language as a player, it makes you go, you know what? Like, is this really worth my mental health? So I have moments where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go play. So my one thing is that a lot of esports teams and organizations don't ever talk about is how influential the community and how influential the experience is gaming with other people. If a professional esports athlete plays against a very toxic gamer, it could damage their mindset in the sense of like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to spend time? And like, I can handle it. Like, I'm a former security professional. Okay, I've done dozens upon dozens of arrests. I can handle trash talking, but my main concern was, what if my son was playing, who's only 14, or if my daughter, who's only 11, and she had this experience? Like, how would that affect her mentally? Where she's just trying to have fun, play a game, but she's being trash talked and talked down to, and that to me is a huge. I find a lot of people who pursue esports will experience that a lot on their journey, and it's really testing. It's really testing because you question, like, am I really enjoying this? Am I did I Because like, of the 7 games I played, 2 of them I actually really enjoyed. The other 5 were just miserable experiences. And I remember I tweeted about it saying, like, if you're gaming as a way to gain confidence by trash talking and belittling other gamers, like, there's an internal conflict that you have to address, because that to me is not normal behavior. Like, normal trash talking is like, oh, you could have caught that, whatever. But when you're dropping like swears and name callings and just other very inappropriate vocabulary, it's like, wow. So that's something I love to speak about in regards to podcasting or appearances I do, is the reality of toxicity in gaming, and how competitive nature comes in and it makes people so toxic because they're trying to get that leverage over you. They're trying to mentally beat you down. And then I always ask them, like, I remember the one guy I was playing, I was like, buddy, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you acting like this? And he's like, oh, you know what, you just suck at this game, you're terrible. I'm like, so be it. I'm like, maybe I am. I'm like, did you get like, I'm like, you need to like self-reflect here. And then he muted me because I'm just like, when I call someone out, I don't do it in a sense of I want to be a hypocrite and belittle them. It's like, listen, man, I want you to be, have some awareness here to what you're doing, how you're acting. And it's just so, I want to get in esports, but at the same time, there's times where I have those gaming experiences where I'm just like, do I really want to invest more time in this kind of experience, knowing that majority of the people who I'm playing are not really professional level. They're just trying to get there. Whew. So 5 of the 7 games were not fun. Um, and that was damaging, where I was like, maybe my time is best spent elsewhere. And maybe it's best I just play Madden at a very casual level until we're able to figure out a way to make this experience more fun. Because when you turn on Madden Sports, or I believe NHL also has it too with EA Sports, there's a positiveness where it says a positive gaming. And it gives you a warning of how to interact online. And they actually give you these features. Like, for example, the 2 players I did play, I had a great time with. Um, you're able to accommodate them, or not accommodate. You're able to give them accommodations, like they played very well, they were helpful, they were friendly. So I do that, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And but I feel like there should be an incentive to get that. So, like, let's say I play with someone and I say, you know what, I'm going to give them accommodation that they were very helpful. Maybe they get some in-game currency for it, like 200 coins. something that gives them that incentive to be like, you know what, I want to earn this good player recognition, not only because it feels good, but it gives me something to do in the game. Like, for example, Grand Theft Auto
An
5
achievement,
online. Yeah, an
an
achievement.
achievement too.
Grand Theft Auto 5 has a thing called the Good Sport where they'll pay you $2,000 in-game currency. I've already made almost $30,000 in that already. And I'm like, that's
Damn.
bragging rights for me. I'm like,
Oh my
yeah, I'm
goodness.
not doing it to make the money. Obviously, the money's a bonus. But
Yeah.
that's what I think that games need to start doing, because right now esports it has two crowds. It has the crowds of like, I'm supportive of it. It's amazing. I'm winning money. I'm doing great. But then there's the other side where it's like, yeah, but with how much times you're winning money in championships compared to how many times you're dealing with negative, toxic gamers, that's the more common occurrence people are going to have on their esports journey is until they get, even if you get hired to an esports organization, you're probably going to be faced with more toxicity then, with
Just about to
more
bring that up.
jealousy. Yeah, so it's like it all depends who you are as a person, and it's all about self-awareness, man. Like I've learned from the last
I'm sorry.
so like it all like I said previously, it's about self-awareness. And the last couple months I've been doing a lot of soul searching and being like, you know what? I would love to be able to win the Madden championship, because the winner last year, Henry, took home over $400,000. So like the cash prize is
Did I
pretty
hear
good.
400,000?
400,000.
Oh
Like
my goodness.
if you go
I
on
thought I heard
the
for 4,000, but I'm like
no,
400,000.
if you go on Madden 22 and you go into the Madden Ultimate Team mode and you go to the far right where it says competition, it tells you the top 3 players and how much they've earned. So that is great incentive. Be like, oh yeah, I can make money. But the truth is that I tell kids all the time is I always tell them, like, there's dreaming and then there's reality. The reality is to get to that level of earning $400,000 and earning the Madden Championship is extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult. The competition is fierce. People you play against online are going to do whatever they can to break you down mentally, to affect your gameplay. And I had to spend time being like, you know what? I'm now sponsored by TELUS here in Canada in regards to their esport affiliate program. And I've talked to the team. I said, listen, like, I was pursuing esports as a profession. However, with my current situation with my mental health in regards to my ADHD, the fact that I'm going on disability right now due to my right shoulder, I'm like, there's a lot of personal stuff in my life right now that's taking priority. My podcast, for example, is doing very well. And then I started coaching NFL flag in September. So I was like, how else can you guys support me? And they're like, we love your podcast. I was like, cool. So I'll focus on that. So it's a good thing because I have a lot of friends in esports. I have a lot of doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists and physiotherapists who work with Cloud9, Face Clan, TSM, who I talk to, and I'm reading their stuff, and they even tell me they're like Dave, there's a lot of toxicity in this industry. The average age of retirement, as we all know, is 25 years old in esports. Like, it's crazy because of the mental toll. And I'm not saying it to scare the kids or the youth that want to be esports. It's a reality that you have to deal with. Okay. But the number one thing is self-awareness and just doing what you do because you want to do it, not because you feel like you have to do it. So I always tell the kids, don't focus on the grand prize. Don't focus on the cash you can win. I'm like, because if that's the only reason why you're going to do it, it's going to be a miserable experience for you. I'm like, you have to love it. You have to have the passion for it.
If you want to hear more stories, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. To support more youth by youth led projects, visit us at youthspeak.ca, where you can donate and spread youth mental health awareness.
YouthSpeak Performance Charity. Speak, inspire, change.